Hey, good morning, yogis. Um, yeah, check out my new digs here, huh? Um, so this is a new space I used on Tuesday. It seemed to go okay. Please let me know if there's anything I need to know. You can always put a comment in the chat. You could say good morning. Good morning, Leah. I'm happy you're here. Um, So we're going to start. The kind of theme of this class is a focus on the spine. So we all have a spine. I know I'm assuming this, but just notice what happens when I say bring your awareness to your spine. So what I notice is the first thing I want to do is I want to adjust. I want to move like, oh, my spine. And as soon as we bring awareness to it, like we want to maybe kind of align it because we feel like, oh, I'm collapsing, like maybe I'm not so aligned through my spine. And then, so you might adjust. And then not only that is to feel, well, what does that feel like? So rather than just doing what you're told, we really want to have this reflective quality. Like, well, what does it feel like? And then you get to know your spine. How does it feel today? Maybe you tap into if there's any little quirks that you have in your spine. So it's really natural to have either an imbalance that you were like born with, or just over time, the spine can experience imbalance because all these different muscles are pulling at the spine, and it's this, little stack of bones. So of course, it can really get out of alignment. Go ahead and close the eyes. And breathe now a little deeper, as if you could breathe right around your spine. From the very base, and this just is bringing awareness into the body, all the way up to the crown of your head. So I think it was somewhere in the Bhagavad Gita, it said something about the definition of a yogi is one whose spine is filled with prana. So prana is life force. It really just is this pure energy that's keeping you alive. So when you die, the prana leaves the body. And when we fill the spine with prana, I just describe this as that quality of the difference of moving from being kind of spineless. So it's more than just a physical, alignment through your spine. It's this actual quality that when you do this, it's like you move right into your true essence. It's again, this is like from the Yoga Sutras. It's hard to translate, but like when yoga happens, like they describe it as you connect right with your true essence. And what's so beautiful is then this is really unique to you. You might drop in that question like, so how am I doing? Am I really aligning with my true essence? Am I aligning with my own values? Am I aligning with what's deeply important to me? Is there anything that's off? And as you're taking a little deeper breath here, cleansing the body, it's almost as if we're either kind of polluting, toxifying the body and the mind, or we're cleansing it. It's like we're either kind of building up, kind of adding to the nonsense or the garbage, or we're moving it out. Bring your arms out to the side, just reach them out. And feel your spine now as you breathe. You inhale, you bring your arms up. You exhale, you bring your arms down. And as you keep doing this, just breathing and moving, aligning or feeling the strength building in the spine. Even in a physical way, you have the spinal cord. And it's important that the nerves are not being pinched. And so you could imagine this space in the spine, even around the brain. In the beginning of our practice, we're really putting everything down. Release tension in your throat. So that's part of our purifying, our cleansing. Good. And then next time you release the arms down, you're going to let go of seated pose. So we're going to move right on to all fours and just wake up that movement in the spine, because this all fours cat and cow is a great action. It's one of those you could kind of do anytime. So gradually back and forth. Breathing and moving, getting into the merging together the breath and the movement, the flow of breath, the flow of movement. So this alignment is physical, a mental, emotional experience, kind of a harmonizing. Now, next time that you move into your cat pose where you arch your back, you do that full exhale, you squeeze, and then you push back as you lengthen and grow your spine to a child pose. And then you come back up, move to your cow pose, and then cat pose. You just go back to child pose. So just do this in a very fluid way that really works for your joints, and just start to really feel breath in your nostrils and just flowing into your whole body in a big giant like good morning, waking up. This cleansing process. Like, what are you letting go of right now? It could be that there's you're just decreasing a little bit of stiffness in the spine, that physical letting go. You might sense a little more space. Or there might be something that you've really been stuck. Some thought or worry or concern that's really seized you up. And how just this movement and this connection helps that you can start to move it along. So as you let go of that, just that cat and cow movement. So in this class, I asked that you have some kind of two things that I will instruct, and you might need to jump up and get these, are you will need a strap, some kind of a strap, and a wall space. Now, what's great is you don't have to use these. It's not like you can't participate, but we're gonna go ahead and recline. So as you recline, you're gonna take your feet on the wall. So right at the base of the wall. And then as you lay back here, let's start with the elbows bent and you're pointing your fingers up. Now bring awareness to your whole back body and pull your shoulder blades down a little bit. You might feel those shoulder blades really flatten. And for most people, they pull down and it just feels pretty good around the upper back that you're getting a little length to the back of the neck. And with your feet on the wall, start to move your toes. So you could start by doing that back and forth where we lift like just the big toes away from the wall. And then you switch, the big toes touch the wall and you lift the other 8 toes and you just kind of go back and forth and work those muscles. Little muscles in the feet, the ankles. Now make sure that you're freely breathing here. But like, okay, I'm waking up my feet and toes way down there. And that is actually the very base. We could call it the base of your spine almost. Way down. That furthest connection through the feet. Yeah, keep waking up those toes. And then as you pause here, just start to be aware of your navel and kind of gather your navel so it draws down towards the floor a little bit, just slightly. And now start to reach your right heel into the wall. And then switch and reach your left heel into the wall. And just do this back and forth. It's a very subtle action, but what happens is that movement through your legs back and forth really ripples up towards your lower back. And this will feel like a little side to side movement through your spine, through the lower back. Even like through your hip joints, you might feel like your leg bones. And I just like to explore this back and forth. It's this subtle waking up in your lower back. So the lower back needs these little teeny movements. And you might see how it ties in to keep the navel engaged so that you don't really arch your lower back as you do this. Rather, you work to kind of lengthen, like your tailbone is reaching to the wall. Good, and then reach both heels to the wall. And then move your fingers a little bit, even move your hands, just getting the digits moving like you moved your toes. Just slightly, just connecting and, oh, waking up the fingers. And then as you pause here, just reach fingers up to the ceiling and then start to move your head. So you're going to look to your right side. Now, when you're twisting your head, your neck, make sure that your chin stays a little lifted. Like you don't want to pull your chin down. So use the wall, like push your heels into the wall. Reach up to the crown of your head as you're looking to the right. Feel that kind of pull through your neck. Now your shoulder blades stay flat. You're kind of pulling the shoulder blades down. Do not let them lift up as you're twisting. And just breathe into the chest. Feel this length. And then switch sides. Just head back to the center. And then just let the head kind of slide as you look to the left. Breathe through your nose, like feel your throat, all of this space. You know, there could be a lot of sensation as you're waking up this twist because you're really allowing just the neck vertebra to twist here. Now go back and forth, just play with this action back and forth. It's okay to kind of lift your head in order to really place it. You might feel like you slightly lift the head, but then even kind of push it back down. Like make sure you're not floating your head, that it is really grounding. Keep your breastbone lifted. Don't let your chest sink as you do this back and forth. Legs keep lengthening. This whole sequence is one that I've been doing like first thing in the morning. I sometimes have a little feeling of like plantar fasciitis in my feet. I have muscles in my feet, so it's a great way to wake up. Now, go ahead and pause, and let's just bring right knee into the chest. Just pull the knee in, keep that left leg long against the wall, that left foot. Even reach through the inner left leg and press into the base of your left big toe. Breathe through your belly. Shoulders stay down, and then switch sides. Just bring that right leg, extending, touching the wall. Left knee pulls into your chest. So I know this is pretty subtle movement here, but we're just tuning into energy flow in the body. And, you know, this we need to understand. If you have an urge, like, come on, let's get moving here. Like we are, this is unlocking any kind of blockages in the body. So grab your strap and take your strap on your right foot. So this is just that big, it can almost feel like a morning stretch where you straightening, push your left foot into the wall, and then start to lengthen the right leg here. But feel your whole back body really open against the floor, everything within. Maybe close your eyes and just feel this internal space here. Those top toes, those right toes could move here. Make sure your strap isn't bunching your toes. So moving, getting those toes moving. You could do that action with just the big toe. Like reach your big toe up to the ceiling. Keep both legs straight. Keep your spine lengthening and flowing within your spine here. And then switch. Point your other 4 toes up to the ceiling. Pull your big toe down towards the floor. That stuff you can play back and forth. Just notice how it feels and the energy you're waking up through your legs. So we kind of start with legs. Flow of energy through your legs. Switch sides. Bring that left foot up, right leg to the wall. We need the soles of the feet to open, the energy through your legs. Then it moves up through your spine. So curiously, the awareness of your spine, this is where it all starts. Breathe, feel like, that effort. No strain, but this effort it takes to align so energy can move. Nostrils open. Drink in, feel your chest opening here. It's so good to remember with these poses, like you can't get them wrong. Where you can be so focused on like, I can't, do this pose perfectly. Like, what if we remember, like, actually, there's no way to do it wrong. Move those left toes if you're not yet. Play with these just kind of simple actions, the reaching the big toe to the ceiling. And then the other toes, and just let that move back and forth. Deep in the body. Clearing out tension. Good. And then as we release, the strap can go out to the side. And let's go ahead and roll to the side. Come up. Come back onto all fours. And just take a little twist here. So the knees go wide apart. Toes stay close together. Now, long spine. So we just woke up that space in the spine. Keep it spacey as you reach your right arm out to the right. Open, 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 open to the right. Twisting. Breathing. Align through your throat and your windpipe. So breath can still flow from nose to your lungs. And then you just switch. You bring that right hand down, you reach out to the left, you open up. But feeling just that right effort here. Move back and forth, really fluid, moving. Just waking up that twist. Pull the spine long. From the tailbone to the crown. Sense like your whole rib cage rotating, opening. Fluid movement. Space around your eyes, around your brain, mouth. Good. And then as you let this go, I am going to just move into down dog. So as we move into down dog, we're going to do this at the wall. So if you have a wall accessible that you could use, you can even use a door. If you have a door that you could shut, and you'll see that we're just bringing the heels up on the wall. So I'm going to explore heels lifting up, but make sure your toes and the balls of the feet are comfortable. They'll get, I like to keep the balls of the feet on the floor, not just your toes. And then the hands really open up, reach forward. Breathing, keep your shoulders away from your ears as you build this. It's like architecture, you're Your alignment is your personal architecture. So, like we all have these different building materials. So you build your down dog according to your building materials, your bones, your muscles, what's happening today. Breathe and feel. Now, can you notice your tailbone? Let's do a little movement through your tailbone. Tuck your tailbone under. This might also round your back a little bit. And then untuck your tailbone, as if you're pointing it to the ceiling. And that might pull on the backs of your legs. Almost like you're in a cow pose, a back bend, and then just go back and forth. So lower back is moving. Lower back especially is doing a little cat and cow because your tailbone is moving. So a lot of yoga poses then are designed, like the work is designed to bring a little more balance into your right and left side. Because you're evenly working here. Good. Lightly touch your knees down. Child pose. Even, bend your elbows. So as you come up, move to all fours again. And we're going to do just a really little lateral movement. This is that side stretch, but it's going to get into your lower back a little bit more. Take your right leg. Now you might move away from the wall so that you can take your right leg way back. Let's bend the right knee and just circle that right knee around just to move, kind of loosen up in your right hip. Breathing, smiling as you're doing this, like, oh, so good for your hip. Circle the other way, letting this move. So even this is like a tender little movement, not only for your hip, but for your lower back. Like it's starting to move a little bit. Now, as you reach that right leg back again, take your right foot over to the left and then drop your toes down and tuck your toes under. So I will advise that you just keep your toes on your mat. Like don't swing way out to the side. Just keep the toes on the mat. A little lift of your underbelly, lifting up here. Really straighten that right leg. Reach your chest forward. Breathing. Now shoulders stay back and start to look over your left shoulder. This is really gradual because your whole body now going towards a lateral stretch, lateral movement. Spine long. Start to look back like you might actually see your foot back there. But it's a lot of work, that back leg straightening. Just right for your neck. I like to keep, face is kind of facing down. Rather, like you could see your foot through the peripheral vision here. Letting go. Bend that right knee and just do a few more circles, like, oh, just loose after that. And then bring it down. As we go to the left side, reach the left leg way back. long spine. So we keep that awareness through the whole spine. Bend the left knee and just open out to the left. Circle that knee, that leg in the socket. Breathe through your nose. Like, ooh, big warm up here. Make sure there's a real fluidity. You're not locking anywhere. So switch, just go the other way. Good. And then that left leg, you're reaching straight back. Take the left foot over towards the right. Toes touch down. The toes curl under. And you straighten that left leg. Lift the navel. So that little bit of chest forward here, shoulders staying back, and start to move as if you could look back. But feel like, oh, you're just getting into this big stretch through that right or through that left side. Breathing, straighten the back left leg. Good. As you release, that left knee bends, does a few circles around, loose. Good. Now as the knee comes down, move yourself right to a few more cat and cow. Just roll through the spine. Feeling, breathing. Now from all fours, you might need to adjust on your mat because you're going to step the right foot forward. And as that right foot comes forward, you're going to straighten the back leg. Now as you straighten the back leg, you might shift so that your left heel even touches the wall. So you get that nice grounding press into the wall. Hands lift up to your right thigh. So just that right distance between your feet. Make sure that back heel is really grounding, like your inner heel is pressing into the wall. Now lift the navel. And the arms go to the side slightly. Lift from your tailbone. So tailbone pulls in a little bit here, and then you just lift up. So the lifting up is that feeling up through your spine. Really, like you're growing your spine and the strength around it. It's very stabilizing. As you release, as you bring your hands back down, you step the right foot back to down dog. Getting just that right tilt of your pelvis. Remember how we did the tucking and untucking of the tailbone. So finding just your right pelvic position. And then the knees just touch down. And we'll take that left foot forward. So building this, again, your own little architecture here. The back leg straightens. Grounding. And then you can lift up. The hands on that left thigh. Straighten the back leg. And as you straighten the back leg, the navel starts to lift. So there's that stabilizing. Tailbone in. You start to grow, you lift up through the spine. Arms slightly out, really wherever you want to bring your arms. But it's even not so much a lift of the chest. Like that's just a result of that firm lifting through your spine, like strong, like you're hugging your spine. And as you do that, the spine moves into just the right position. Rather than spineless, we're spineful. And as you release, you just touch fingers down, you move back to your down dog. Big breath here. There can be a tendency to walk the hands like too close to the wall in your down dog. So watch out for that. And I know as your hands move away, it's harder, it's more upper body work. So go ahead and touch the knees down if you want, or we're just gonna take that right foot and step forward. Now from here, we are just gonna move to a warrior one and warrior two pose, but the left foot's gonna drop and I have this little teeny touch on the wall back there. Then the hands lift. So that back left heel is a little pushing into the wall. Front right knee is bent. Tailbone in. And then lift up through the spine. And when you lift the spine, you know, I often point this out. It's interesting, like the navel lifts. As you reach your arms up, wherever they want to go here, breathe and feel. You're decreasing tension. As you really feel your spine. So as you connect to your spine, this will be your unique pose. We want to be able to feel that strong space and energy moving through the spine rather than the spine saying like, oh my gosh, get me out of here. So straighten that right leg for a moment, bring the arms down. So warrior two legs, your hips are going to start to rotate a bit to the left. Even open your back left foot a little bit. So as you start to face your shoulders to the left, start to bend the right knee. So that right knee does the same action. It's reaching towards the front of the mat. So very different hip position here. And spine. So tailbone dropping. Let's take the hands behind you, interlace your fingers. Just feel a lifting up through your spine here. Bend the right knee. Reach that left heel to the wall. Now, if you release your fingers and just reach your arms out, I recognize like that back arm might hit the wall if you're using the wall. You could just take your fingers up the wall. And so, yeah, your arms not getting in the way as you lift your spine up through crown of the head. You might look to the right a little bit, you know, how we warmed up that head action. Left arm, that back arm lifts up, and you're going to go back to your down dog. So you just touch fingers. Step back, breathing. So spine, led by the spine here. So go ahead and touch your knees down if you want. And then step left foot forward. Now, as you start to come up again, we'll do warrior one and warrior two on this left side. So right foot drops down. And as you start to come up, you could realign, like really reach that outer right heel to the wall. There's that little connection, but it might really help to connect and ground. So as you come up here, left knee is going to bend. You reach forward, warrior one. Draw the tailbone in. Lifting up through your spine. So that strength kind of hug the spine. Back leg straightening. And then as you straighten the front leg for a moment, arms come down, and the shoulders rotate to face your right side. Lift your toes, and your feet might naturally slightly adjust. So that when you bend your left knee again, let's just take the arms down and feel the leg position. That outer right heel still pushing into the wall. So what is happening to your spine? And when you reflect on that, when you bring awareness back, it might even feel like what's happening to your integrity? What's happening to the decrease of stress or toxins and the cleansing process here? Arms come behind, just interlace your fingers to bring awareness around sacrum, tailbone, the strength, maybe the lift of the navel again. And then as you reach your arms out, so align and reach that right heel into the wall. Bending that left knee up to the spine. So we're using like awareness of your feet even to connect to the spine and that architecture. That back arm comes up, right arm up, back to your down dog. Stepping the feet, find your own position. The shoulders kind of pack back away from the ears. Yes, part of the spine alignment. So both, in this pose, what the feet, what the hands are doing really affects your spine. What you're choosing to do with your tailbone, is there that action of kind of tucking tailbone under, or are you untucking your tailbone to align your whole sacrum so your spine can lengthen? And then just walk your feet forward. Push into your feet, come all the way up to standing. Good. A little squat pose. And in squat, in Utkatasana, we are gonna let's do a little cat and cow here. So the feet can have space apart. As you bend your knees, and as you sit back a little bit, I'm just taking hands on my hips. And I'm just gonna do a little cat and cow while keeping the legs parallel. You're just feeling like, okay, yeah, I can do this while creating space and length in my spine. And then reach your arms forward when you're in a cat. And then pull back as if you were rowing as you go to your cow. That reaching in your cat, pull back with your cow pose. Couple more of these. Yeah, you're staying in that squat. Could be heat building here. Good. And then go ahead and fold. Forward bend.
So really good pose to be spine aware. Forward bends can be of great benefit. They can also do harm. So especially attuning to your lower back. Moving back, you're gonna move right to your plank pose. So as you step the feet back, plank pose has, that same alignment like when you were laying on the floor. You have natural curves of your back here. Reaching back through your heels, lots of space in your chest. In a strange way, like let this pose be natural. Like you're just standing upright. And then in your own way, lower down to your belly. So as you lower down here, we'll start with Cobra, where you can take your legs back. So Cobra, this laying on the belly can be very, very good for your spine because there's no flexion in your hips now. But we do want to approach this carefully. So there is that grounding of the pubic bone. And then as you lift a Cobra pose, really lift your shoulders. In fact, we'll do that repeatedly. Keep your pubic bone grounded. Lower down. Notice how shoulders will drop down a little bit. And when you lift a Cobra, really focus on shoulders lifting up. Like your chest is reaching forward. Releasing down. Even close your eyes and tune into your spine, because in Cobra, you really want to feel like I'm lengthening my spine as I'm lifting up. I'm growing wide across the chest, creating lots of space like through your neck. Feel like spine really lifting up to your brain. Space around your eyes, around your brain. Just really purifying. Rather than a lot of clutter, a lot of thoughts coming in, do this in a way that is creating a lot of space. Now move to your Sphinx pose. So your hands or your forearms come to the mat. And Sphinx pose now really moves up to the middle of your spine, where you draw the middle of your spine in. And then as you lengthen through your spine, lift even the very top of your throat. And can you feel that space around your throat? Neck is long, so you do a little bit of that looking side to side. Like you could just feel your spine, but it might feel a little limited, just in this positioning. But it's good to just get that feeling like, yes, I can move my neck. We don't want to feel crumpled or compressed in our Sphinx pose. There might be real subtle alignment through your neck. I'm freeing up this space. The shoulders are staying back, staying down. Good. Now, as you release, as you let this go, the elbows go up to the sides, and you're going to reach your arms back and move to a very small Shalabhasana. Like you just lift your legs. You're barely lifted here. More of just like space, the shoulder blades pressing on the back. You are not dropping your head. You're just that right amount of, even that top of the throat lifting. That inner space. And now moving back to down dog. Open the soles of the feet, open the hands so this energy can lift up from the earth. Purify with the breath. Now touch your knees down. So we're going to take this back just briefly. I know a little more work where we're going to reach one leg back in three-legged dog. And as you do that, there is like the pulling back of the hip. So it's going to be like that littlest lateral shift right and left, back and forth, kind of pulling one side, pulling the other side. But I really love like those little teeny movements that have a huge impact. So hands come forward. Make sure you have space so you can go to your down dog, and not only down dog, but reach your right leg back. So as you reach back, feel like you're kind of pulling that right hip way, 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 way back. Even open, lift, open that right hip a little bit. Let the right leg swing over to the left just slightly. And that's it. And then you just take your right foot down. And then that left leg goes way back. And as it reaches back, feel the whole left hip kind of reach back. Left leg over to the right slightly. You're just feeling that kind of pull through the left side. Switch. Actually, you're going to do this back and forth like your own way. Naturally, again, the navel might lift up here. Because that naturally happens because it brings more space and length to your spine. So get into the whole side of your body, really lengthening. And to help this, you might really straighten your arms, get that full strength and length. Good. And then as you feel finished, you'll walk towards the center of the mat again. Come up to standing. Step the feet wider apart. And then we're going to take the feet and point them out to the side. And take a little squat here. So in this squat, again, we're going to move the pelvis. So you're going to do that tipping action. Untuck the tailbone, tuck the tailbone. And back and forth. So the whole pelvic bowl, like really getting that back and forth movement. Arms come out. Space around the chest. So through the thoracic area, the upper back, we mostly want to de-slouch that area just by doing something simple like this. Part of the de-slouching is that your head, you're reaching straight up to the crown of the head. So keep doing this, and I'm just going to go sideways just so you can see that, the pelvis is just doing that rocking back and forth. How are your feet? Are the soles of the feet closing up? So think of the feet as portals, like they're just open to the earth. That energy flow here. Now as you pause here, just straighten the legs, arms come down, get tall.
crown of the head up. So we're going to do this again and just do a bigger action. Bend your knees, reach the knees way out, arms come out. And instead of just forward and back, let this do a circular motion. Like imagine that your tailbone is drawing a circle. Use your intuition though, like this, doesn't hurt, you're not forcing. So this is a great way of, if we want the spine to be full of prana, we're unlocking a lot of this kind of stagnant energy. This area can just be stagnant. We don't move it as much. And then the other way, just circle the other way. Or maybe you do the merengue a lot every day. Throat really soft, open. Toes lifting. Good, and then you just come up, feet forward. And as you step together, just a really loose kind of marching action. And this you really can modify however you want. But I'm going to do it pretty big, where the arms come up, one knee comes up, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So, as you're really swinging around, moving around here, notice your spine. How you can really bring that, that real strength and integrity around your spine to hold you here. Next knee that comes up, you pause. You do a little tree pose, balance from that bottom foot. Feel that connecting and how, that's going to affect your balance in your spine. And the standing leg, right up through your spine. Good. As you let this go, you do a few more. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Moving to the other leg. So you're balancing. Bringing maybe foot just under the calf. Declutter. We can be so conditioned. Our normal experience is quite a bit of clutter. Ungrounded. So connect to your spine. Like taking refuge in the spine. As you let go of this, take the feet a little wider, move to a forward bend. So you can take your feet as wide apart as you want to here. Drop your head. This pose, what I love when the feet are wider apart, is it just allows for that inversion to your brain. The kind of upside down through your whole spine into your brain. And then as you come up, just push into the feet as you come up here. We're going to go on to the back side and we're going to do a twist. Let's do like a warm-up twist and then a slightly deeper twist.
So it's nice to have a little space off to your right and left side as you do this. So as you recline, take the arms out to the side. And let's just do that where we start by the shoulder blades, really nice and flat, opening the chest. And then bend your knees, lift your feet a little bit here. Now you do want to keep the spine lifted up away from the floor, just like it's buoyant. And you're aware of these curves of the spine and the length, and then drop the knees a little to the right. Lift your left buttock. Really strong pose, right? Shoulders stay grounded, the throat is nice and open. Now go up and over to the other side. You're rolling across. It might feel like you're rolling across your upper butt area. Go back and forth a couple times here. Just to feel not only the spine, but the sides of the body, even your whole rib cage as you're playing with this twisting. Now the head can also do that action, looking to the side. But stay connected to the spine and that feeling that you're lengthening through the spine, through the whole spine, sides of the spine, the front of the spine, the back of the spine, all the way up to the crown of your head. And then as you go ahead and pause in the center, cross your right leg over the left. So you're crossing your thighs. Really wrapping, kind of squeezing in your thighs together. So sides of the body long, lengthen your spine here, and then drop your knees over to your left. Gradually, you might touch your toes first. And just breathing, feel your spine here. That twisting. But make sure this doesn't feel like you're just, that you're tensing up at all. Like you could even move your shoulders. Your upper body might move slightly. So, lots of space for your neck, your chest. Breathe through your nose and breathe into the whole body. And imagine you could breathe around your spine. Slowly untwisting. As you untwist, you can just drop your feet to the mat for a moment and take, this kind of architecture of the bones back to center. Notice how that twist felt. And then as you lift your feet, you cross left thigh over right. One thing is you really want to breathe to your belly here. Like you don't want to crunch your navel in. Rather, like keep the spine almost a millimeter lifted away from the floor as you drop your knees to your right. Like breathe and feel the spine lengthening. Throat stays relaxed, just little by little. Moving into this. As we bring that deep awareness into the body, you're purifying and cleansing. So feel the energy flow. Your body is allowing this pose. There might even be, it's not like very slight movements or smallest move of your head or softening the face, big breath to the belly. And then gradually untwist as you bring this back to center. You unwrap your legs, even take your feet really wide apart. And as you align your spine here, just drop the knees back and forth a little bit, just play with. So you might notice like this little movement through your lower back area. You know, the lower back, why I'm focusing on that a little bit, like so naturally, that's where gravity just compresses that area. So all of this repetitive, tender action actually brings mobility and the strength and integrity back. Move now to Shavasana. Staying connected to your spine. You might move your tailbone. That's a great one to move in Shavasana, is that kind of pulling your tailbone down. That aligns, right? Your legs, lower back, just right. Like one option I'm just going to drop in is since we're using the wall a little bit today, is in Shavasana, you could take your feet on the wall, like your toes up, and this will actually prevent your legs from rotating and dropping out to the side, even when you really relax, when you let go here. So let the body be very natural here. You're not trying to do anything. Bring awareness to your eyes, your face. So this is how we practice letting go, is we bring full attention. And as you bring full attention right here, there's a lot of letting go in order to do that. Bring awareness to your lips, your mouth. Throat. Space inside of your chest. Your belly.
very conscious. The mind knows, oh, I'm taking this path inward, I'm putting everything down. Bring awareness to the tailbone, right at the base of your spine. Maybe notice that pathway from the soles of your feet up through your inner legs to your tailbone. And then aware of your lower back. Sacrum. Even your lumbar is releasing down. The middle of your back. Softening. Your upper back. And the space around your shoulder blades. Softening, feel the weight of the upper back, of shoulder blades dropping. And then sense the space at the back of your neck. Really softening, kind of mushy, as you release the weight of your head. Even feeling that very back of your head is dropping down. And you can imagine now that, oh yeah, I have a spine, and I get a sweet awareness from the tailbone all the way up to the crown of the head. Even imagine like you breathe and sweep up and down through the spine. There's just no end to this intimate connection that we build. Every day is a little different. You stay close to your own true essence. In this way, we connect with others in a very authentic, sensitive way. And so letting the sound of the bell just be this calling, this really natural calling forth, bringing your beautiful energy into the world. in any way this next step feels appropriate. Bring yourself back up to seated if you wish. And to be guided by this strength. As we take palms together in front of the heart, this could be, one thing to remember is just if you have a wish that you could do yoga, it's like it's there at any moment. Just this, I could bring awareness to my spine. This brings you back home. To balance these energies. Let's close with the sound of Om. Take a deep inhale. Om. Namaste. Thanks so much for being here, sharing your presence. So, as a reminder, there's today is Friday, and I do hold a Zoom class tomorrow. If you want to attend it, so all I do is I send out that link on my weekly email. So just contact me if you want to, Nancy at boleryoga.com, and I'll get you that link. Otherwise, also here in Minneapolis, I've started a Tuesday morning outdoor class. So another one, you could contact me if you want that information. It looks like this Tuesday will probably be pretty good, so we'll meet. I wish you just a really wonderful day of effortless practice and just connecting, giving yourself this real gift of your own love and care.